Hello everybody, welcome again to the best sports show on television, The Review. We thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget you can check us out on Facebook at The Review. Catch some of the missed episodes that you may have missed. Also look for us on YouTube. This is The Review. We've got women's football to talk about. We've got senior men's national team football and VIPA players, WICB. Again, another tra-la-la. We're going to talk about that coming up later. But first, let's see what made the director's cut this week.
80th ranked Antigua and Barbuda team 1-0 yesterday in their toughest battle yet. The lone item, as you just saw, courtesy of 44th minute goal by that man, midfielder Kevin Molino. TNT topped the group with 9 points and will advance to the CFU finals along with Antigua and Barbuda. Coach of the Benin boys, Ralston Williams, says his entire team did not get the win, but he was still satisfied with the result.
It was quite thought out. We did our best. We had a few opportunities. They didn't really come our way, but we are satisfied with the entire match tonight.
Looking back at the tournament, coach of the Soca Warriors, Stephen Hart, felt they still have some work to do.
At times, I thought we were technically a little slow in the tournament in how we moved the ball. But, you know, those things could only be corrected by working on the field on a consistent basis. And at the moment, we're not in that situation as yet.
Well, next up, TNT will compete in the Caribbean Cup Finals in Montego Bay in November. Hart says he would like to get more structures in place before then.
I would like to sit down and find out what is possible. I would really like to have, because we'll have quite a bit of players here, I'd like to have more time with the team. I think it's necessary going into the next round.
It seemed like today was a day for penalties. No question about the roughness of that tackle. However, it was not a day for defense force. Devon Jostling misses everything. The scores remained goalless at the half. Jablote would then make the Army men pay for their early mistake. And Del Nori turned and released a left footer that beat the keeper. 1-0. The Army did manage to break Jablote's barricade. Richard Roy traps and crashes it into an open goal. 1-1 at regulation time. Over to penalties, there was some cold feet at the start. Both Jablote and the defense force missed their first attempt. Duran Dilworth got it right for Jablote though, as the Army men also missed their second attempt. Defense force came back on even terms with their third effort. Still any man's game. Both teams scored their fourth, and in the fifth round, Adrian Reed would score the goal that made all the difference. Rodell Alcock's attempt was saved. Goalkeeper Shane Mattis becomes the hero as Jablote defeat defense force 3-2 on penalties. Sergio Dufour, TV6 Sport.
Goal difference was a big deal for the Dominican Republic in this contest, and they started well by opening the scoring. Make that 2-0 with this slick goal from Rafael Rodriguez, and it looked as if Antigua and Barbuda may be in trouble of not qualifying. However, to St. Lucia's credit, they did find a way back into the game and pulled the goal back through Polias. Deep into the second half, the Dominican Republic retained their 2-goal advantage with this powerful strike from Navarro Gonzalez. St. Lucia never allowed their opponents to run away with this match, though. They pulled another goal back, the game ending 3-2. The Dominican Republic denied a place in the CFU final. Terence Clark, TV6 Sport.
St. Anthony's were by no means benevolent hosts as they gave Chaguanas North Secondary a torrid time. From the corner, Andrew Rello put the Tigers in front in only the second minute. The West Moorings lads dominated the contest and came close to another one, but they just missed out. Chaguanas could breathe a sigh of relief. But there was no stopping the Tigers, who put pressure on their opponents. The ball was played across and Matthew Wooling hammered home. And before the half, the home side made it 3-0. Rollo on the left turn provider and Jules Lee slotted it in. Chaguanas got a consolation item in the second half before Rollo tormented them by getting his hat-trick, and St. Anthony's were 5-1 ahead. But they weren't done yet. Kwesi Allen did the honors by getting his name on the score sheet. St. Anthony's annihilated Chaguanas by 6-1 and lies second on the table.
19 category, tied 3-all at halftime. Tariq Marcano broke the deadlock to put Courts Malvern up 4-3 over Paragon at the Woodbrook Youth Facility. Marcano would then bring the ball from the rear, shaking off 2 defenders, make that 3 defenders, and the keeper for a 5-3 advantage. Malvern completed the victory when Jashaja Drayton slammed in their 6th item of the contest. They defeat Paragon 6-3. The Open Women contest also kept the tempo upbeat. Alana Lewis made a name for herself for Paragon's women. She gave her team a 2-1 lead over Ventures. Into the second quarter, the ladies in red were pouring on the attack and got the breakthrough from Lewis, who gets her second, 3-1 to Paragon. The 4th goal was practically a replay of the 3rd. 4-1 this game ends. Sergio Dufour, TV6 Sport.
The 24th is expected to be an important day in the lives of local boxers. That's when some of them will make their pro boxing debuts. Names include Duke Brooks, Kenneth Bishop, Nigel Edwards and Kimberly Jackson, all of whom are competing in the supporting bouts. After all, there are more recognized fights on the night, as explained by promoter Bharat Ramotar.
Headlining the card will be lightweight Princely Isidore, who will be fighting Bejan Revlon Lake for the Caribbean Commonwealth title. Our semi-main event will be Miss Larissa Rivas, who will be matching fists with Guyana's Sharon Wade for the WBC International Middleweight title.
Ramotar is delighted that pro boxing has returned after an absence of more than a year due to administrative problems. He's imploring the chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Boxing Board of Control to take the sport forward.
I take this opportunity to challenge the administrators of the sport to work alongside me or any promoter to take the sport of pro boxing back to its glory days. To the advisor of the TTBBC, Mr. Boxopot, sitting next to me here, sir, I ask you please to advise the board on its function. Please advise the chairman so he can make the correct decisions on moving the sport forward.
And Boxopot agrees, saying he's sanguine about the future of the sport as long as the boxing board takes his advice. Potts says things are already being put in place so that boxing can make inroads.
Young boxers of Trinidad and Tobago should feel proud that we have started back boxing, and we at the Boxing Board of Trinidad and Tobago is intending on starting a boxing caravan throughout Trinidad and Tobago. I want to call it OJT boxing, on-the-job training boxing.
Vinod Narwani, TV6 Sport.